What's up? It's your boy YG. Today we're ranting. Topic of discussion, risk. Well, what is risk? The definition of risk is a situation involving exposure to danger. So that would be like touching a hot electrical wire outside. That's risky, right? But we're not talking about it in that sense. We're talking about it in trying to improve your life for the better. And it's not that people are scared to take risks. It's that they're scared. It's the fear. But fear isn't real. Fear is just false evidence appearing real. Like they're worried about what might happen in the future, so they don't take action in the now. And for me, I kind of understand why some people are like this, but then again, I kind of don't. I get this a lot, like, isn't real estate risky? What if you can't pay off your mortgage? What if you have to evict a tenant or something goes wrong with the property? And this is why you educate yourself before you make those decisions to indulge in something, right? So it's not like I'm gonna go out there and buy a 20-unit apartment building for my first deal, because that would be really risky. You don't really know what you're doing. And I'm not saying you can't do it, like it's totally possible. But it just depends on the level of risk that you're willing to take. You don't have to start the biggest astronomical project right now. Like, you don't have to go out there and put $500,000 on black playing roulette. You can just start with $5. There's a progression. Work your way up. You start at level 1, you pass level 1, you get to level 2. And then you just keep doing that. It keeps building on each other. It's like a snowball. You don't start with the boss level. You got to get better first. So take incremental risks and see what happens. You could always pivot. If you don't like the way something's happening, you can always change direction. But some people just get stuck. And this isn't just about real estate. It's about whatever in life, like starting a business, starting a new hobby, going traveling the world. It literally could be anything. People see things as too risky and they're content and comfortable in their lives and they don't want it to change. They're good at where they're at. And in my opinion, I think that's kind of risky. You're risking missing out on life and all the important moments that I think everybody should enjoy and experience just working. And most likely, you probably don't even like the job that you're working at. I'm pretty sure there's something else you'd rather be doing. So I think risking all the learning experiences and opportunities in life isn't really worth it, you know? And I get it, you have to go to work because you have to provide for your family or whatever. Like, you have to have a roof over your head and everything. But some people just don't even try to experience or take any kind of risk regardless. I just think that's unhealthy. There's more to life than just working. You got to get out there. And I'm going to say this a million times, take chances because you never know what's going to happen. Working for one job and living and being dependable on that one source of income, you could see during this pandemic that was really risky, because if you're out the job, then you're kind of fucked. I read this book, Top 5 Regrets of the Dying, and one of the regrets that they make is not taking advantage of the opportunities that they had in their past. And it was because they were scared of the risk. It was the fear that prevented them and held them stagnant, and they never took action. Personally, I have a risk-taking personality. I would rather risk something and fail while in the process learning with the possibility or potential to do it again or do something else with the knowledge that I learned, compared to just not taking action at all and thinking about what could have happened if I had just tried. So as a guy, it's kind of like going to talk to a girl for the first time. So if you're at a party, you see this good-looking girl and you're like, damn, I want to talk to her. In that moment, you don't know her. Your life is how your life is, and there's two things you could do. You could approach her and see what happens, or you could just stand there and soak in your fear because you're scared of rejection. So if you just stand there, then your life stays the same. Like you still don't know who that person is. You don't get rejected. So your self-esteem stays intact, even though as a guy, you should get used to rejection. That shouldn't really have an impact on your self-esteem, but you don't really understand that until you get much older, or not much older, but just older in general. Once you get rejected a lot, you learn to just like brush it off, like it's cool, not a big deal. But there's two things that could happen if you approach her, right? One thing, she might talk back to you and you could end up getting the number. Y'all might get married. You never know what could happen. Or she could just say, no, I'm good. And then you're like, all right, cool. It doesn't matter if you get the number or not, you still learned in that situation. You kind of boosted your self-esteem even if you got rejected, because you're like, well, I took a risk and I approached her. I didn't get it, but that's life. You don't always win. That's just how it is. And that's just the kind of person that I am. And some people aren't as risk averse, and I really think they should change that, because your life could be so much different. I understand you could still work for that one job and take a risk doing whatever, get into real estate, start your little business that you wanted to do, go travel the world, go to that one country you wanted to go to, because you never know what's going to happen. If you just bask in your fear, you're just going to stay where you are in life, and as you get older, you're going to regret the opportunities that you didn't take when you were younger. Life is short, and you shouldn't sacrifice your future for your present emotions. Like 5 years from now, it's gonna come. You're gonna be 5 years older in 5 years from this point right now. So would you want your future self to reap the benefits of the work that you put in now and the risks that you took now? Or are you content with staying exactly where you are right now and just transfer yourself right now to the person in 5 years? Nothing has changed. Your life is still the same. And I'm just gonna go out on a whim and assume that you don't want that for yourself. You don't want to be in the same place that you're at right now in 5 years, because there's no growth. And if you're more likely to become depressed because there's no growth, hence no happiness. And it's okay to indulge in something new and be afraid. I'm scared every time I get a new house under contract. I am scared. You can still do what you got to do with the fear. You just got to push through it. The fear is going to be there, but you just got to say, fuck it, I'm doing it anyway. You kind of have to have a fuck it mentality. For me, I take calculated risks, and I educated myself before I got involved in real estate. And in 5 years from now, I'm pretty sure I'm going to be in a much better place, and my 5-year future self is going to be happy with the risks that I took now. And the more risks you take now, the more likely you're gonna take more risks in the future. Now, this means you're also more likely to fail at something or not have something go as planned, but you're also gonna grow and learn from those experiences. If you look back on your life now, I bet you have a couple of stories where there was a risk that you could have took and you didn't take it, and you still to this day wonder, damn, what could have happened if I would have did such and such? Let's stop that now. Take advantage of all the opportunities you have presented in this very moment, because 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 30 years from now, if you don't take advantage of those opportunities, the regrets that you have are just going to keep piling up, and you're going to live a regret-filled life. I would rather live my life failing at every single thing, knowing that I at least tried, than to not have tried at all. Because that time is going to come. The day that you're born and the day that you die, those days don't really matter. You can't control these two numbers, but you can control what happens with that dash in between. How do you want to live your life? Take those risks now. And I would recommend you take those risks in going to talk to that girl that you see at the party, and to indulge in some kind of business or side hustle where you can get some more extra streams of income. Because as you're seeing now, these times are crazy and things are definitely going to change. We're not really going to go back to the normal that we're used to. So I think it's risky just to have that one stream of income. I think that's pretty risky, honestly. But some people don't see it how I see it, I guess. How do you mitigate the risk? Honestly, educate yourself. Talk to people who've been where you were or who are where you want to be, and learn from them. Just educate yourself and apply what you learned in real life situations. And once you start with something, you'll learn on the way. It's not 100% risky. Take the risk now to better your life and the life of your family or your future family. So when the time comes, you'll be able to do the things that you've wanted to do in life. You're not just saying, man, I wish I would have did that thing 20, 30 years ago. I wonder how different my life would be. It really doesn't matter how many times you fail at something. It just takes that one time to succeed to get you where you want to be. It's just that one time. So take as many risks as you need to get that one win, because that one win could change your life, your kid's life, their kid's life, etc., etc. You never know what can happen unless you try. So take those risks. And remember, fear is false evidence appearing real. So let me know how you feel about risk. Or what risks or opportunities that you regret that you didn't take in the past? Let me know in the comments below. I'm out. Peace.